But anyway, listen, this whole hysteria thing that they did in the CPAC, the Second Amendment. Listen, let me tell you about what I think about the Second Amendment. Okay,
right.
And here's what people need to realize: the Second Amendment was written at a time. I think it was like 1800s. When it was written, you understand? So the people can protect themselves against the militia and the armies and things like that. It wasn't meant for them to have freedom to carry guns and all that stuff. And at that time, when they did the Second Amendment, which hasn't been updated, okay, they had pellets. You know what I mean? They didn't have AK-47s or AR-15s.
No. Yeah, one bullet, it'll drop like 30 feet from your face.
You would have to be currently in front of you.
You have to put the powder and then go like that.
And then
by
the guy's waiting for it.
And they would run right into it.
Right into it.
Like,
So when the Second Amendment was written, it wasn't with that in mind that we had the weapons that we have today.
Right.
You understand what I mean? And it hasn't changed that. I mean, and if anybody needs to shred a chipmunk to pieces with an AR-15 to call it hunting, you understand? They shouldn't be hunting.
Exactly. It's like an AR. What is it? AR-15.
Yeah. So this hysteria is like, you're gonna take my gun. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
It's like, what? I want to shoot the chipmunk.
I want to get, I mean, who wants to eat deer jerky with a bunch of gunpowder on it?
Oh man.
Because that's pretty much going to shred the deer to shreds, man.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, that's that conservative hysteria. This is the radical Republicans. This is a radical group, man.
Oh man,
they have become a radical group.
Yes, they have.
You know what I mean?
Did you see that though? I mean, you see the things they say. I mean, even. I'm just trying to make a point with the things that they say, liar, liar, your pants on fire to Cohen and a big sign.
Oh, please.
I mean, that's kindergarten stuff, isn't it?
Well, he was a good guy before he was a bad guy.
But I know that, but, but what I'm trying to say...
He's a bad guy now. He was a good guy before.
But I'm not saying he's not a bad guy or he did not do wrong.
What I'm saying is that before the conservatives consider him a good guy because he was on their side. He was with the president.
I love it.
But now he's a bad guy because he's lying. He's lying on the president. Okay.
You're lying. That's right.
So I don't know. The same thing that did to Coleman.
The sign isn't that kindergarten like preschool stuff?
Look, these guys are.
And then telling the young lady to get up because she's African American.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. This is what I'm saying. It's just nuts. This is a conservative hysteria.
Like they used to say in our I say the hood in our areas. Remember, is that it's for reals.
Yeah, this is for reals. This is some shit going on out there, man. And how about with him hugging the freaking flag?
Oh man, that I actually cringed. But
there's nothing wring with hugging the flag. What's wrong with hugging the flag?
Well, the thing is, the flag to the service armed forces, actually, it's a living thing. Believe it or not.
Well, maybe he thinks it's a living thing. He's treating it like his wife.
The flag is not supposed to touch the floor, things like that.
Yeah.
For somebody to be such a liar and such a dictatorship, he
is a dictator.
Exactly. He's actually.
He's adapted
to me that how many people
tactics.
Every color on that flag means something. The blood, the people that sacrificed.
Right.
And you're talking about here comes a guy out of the woodworks, and it's hugging. He's racist. He's come on.
He's tainted. He's tainting the significance of what it means.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, he's treating it like it's his wife because I guess maybe Melania Trump won't hug him, so he hugs the flag since it's a living thing.
Yeah. Had too much Spanish coffee.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with hugging the flag. I think that just the premise of how he's doing it just for showmanship.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's something. But I do respect the flag.
Look, I've seen people where they hold the flag, and they hold it and they cry, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're thinking about the 911 victims,
Well, 911, right? The wars, what it signifies, where America came from, the hardest.
I could see that,
I mean,
patriotic.
I don't understand how these guys think that anybody else besides the conservatives is patriotic.
Exactly.
I mean, there's plenty of liberals, Democrats who are very patriotic.
But you understand what I mean? I mean, you can see the Republicans. They're constantly, what they have on their mind? Corporations, the money, profit margins. That's all they have on
here's
the table.
What gets me. Conservatives got to consider that in the army right now, there's a lot of Democrats.
Yeah.
A lot of liberals who are fighting alongside the conservatives.
Exactly.
Who are sacrificing their children just like the conservatives. who are fighting for their country just like the conservatives. You understand? And standing and protect the conservatives just like Americans should do.
Yeah, I met some people like that.
So all this hypocrisy that they're the only ones that stand up for democracy and the American, they're the only ones that love America. Listen, there's plenty of Muslims and Hispanics and aliens and Mexicans who are in the army, who are protecting this country. That this guy, to me, has divided this country so that we can't see that again. It's that hysteria where we're back in
perception. He's constantly playing with our perception. He wants us to look as Muslims as all our enemies. Exactly. He wants us to look at Chinese as all our enemies, and Japanese as all our enemies.
No, baby. There's American, Japanese, American.
He wants to divide.
He's a division, and that's why he made that comment that there's people in Congress that don't like this country. That's bullshit. There's the people in Congress. The reason that's why they're in Congress, because they love this country and they don't want to be under the authoritarian dictatorship of Donald Trump, and that's what the problem he's having.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.